All right, let's get right into it. Today we're looking at a huge update in the developer world. If you use Claude Code to speed up your workflow, you already know it's incredibly powerful. But sometimes the tool itself can just get in the way a bit, right? Well, today's explainer is all about Claude Code version 2.1.207. And honestly, this entire update is built around fixing one main problem: those tiny annoying workflow interruptions. The solution? Getting completely out of your way. Let's see how they actually pull this off.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. We're covering the new auto mode defaults, fixing that awful terminal lag, some crucial security upgrades, reliability and remote fixes, and finally, a few essential quality of life updates.
Kicking things off with Section 1, Auto Mode is now default.
So this is basically the headline feature of the release, and it's a massive workflow accelerator. It cuts down your setup time before you even type your first line of code. It used to be that if you wanted Claude to run in auto mode on platforms like Amazon Bedrock, Google Vertex AI, or Foundry, you had to explicitly opt in. You literally had to manually set this clunky environment variable, Claude Code Enable Auto Mode, just to get the ball rolling. Well, good news, you don't have to do that anymore. Auto mode is now active right out of the box on these platforms. It's just on. If you actually want the old manual way, you have to explicitly go in and turn it off using Disable Auto Mode in your settings. It's a total 180 in the default behavior to get you moving faster.
Now, because of this, there's a really important shift in where this configuration actually lives. You used to configure auto mode in a repository-level file, right? The .claude/settings.local.json file. That is officially the old way. Going forward, the required path is strictly at the user level, in your home directory at .claude/settings.json. And this is a big deal because it keeps your personal auto mode preferences totally out of project repositories. It means you won't accidentally commit your personal AI settings to a shared team codebase. Everything stays safely locked away in your own user space.
And I've got a really great bonus number for you here, 4.8. If you're running Bedrock, Vertex, or the Claude platform on AWS, your environments now default to the incredibly powerful Claude Opus 4.8 model. So you get way more power with absolutely zero extra configuration. Win-win.
Moving on to Section 2, Fixing Terminal Lag Forever. Okay, this next one is going to bring some serious emotional relief. Think back to your last intense coding session. Have you ever watched your terminal just completely freeze up during a heavy output stream? Like you ask Claude for a massive architectural table, or a huge wall of refactored code, or this endless list of dependencies, and suddenly your keystrokes start lagging. The whole terminal feels like it's wading through molasses. It was, without a doubt, the single most annoying bug in the previous version.
Well, the release notes gave us the best kind of update possible here. Fixed in 2.1.207, period. That sluggishness, that awful keystroke lag during heavy streaming, it is completely gone. You can now stream massive, heavy outputs, and the terminal stays buttery smooth. Finally.
All right, Section 3, Crucial Security Upgrades.
Let's slow the pace down just a little bit here, because when we're dealing with autonomous coding agents, security isn't just a fun feature, it's the entire foundation. The team patched 4 major vulnerabilities in this release, and a couple really stand out. First up, they closed a consent dialog bypass. Previously, if you ran Claude non-interactively, say through the SDK, remote settings were being permanently recorded as consented without ever actually showing you the security dialog. That loophole, completely shut. They also added a hard check for usage credits. If you try to add credits over $1,000, it now strictly requires a typed confirmation. So no more accidental massive bills just because you accidentally pasted a timestamp instead of a dollar amount. Your accounting department is definitely going to thank you for that one. And lastly, plugin option values are no longer read from project-level settings files, which tightens up plugin configuration scoping quite a bit.
Now, let's talk about what you actually need to do right now regarding shell injection. If you use plugin, hooks, monitors, or headers helper commands, listen closely. Step 1. You absolutely must stop using the user config variable syntax in shell form plugins right now. The system is just going to reject it outright from here on out. Step 2. To adapt to this, you need to switch over to the exec form, which is the args array, or you could just use the Claude plugin option environment variable instead. It's a really small syntax change on your end, but it is a massive leap forward for injection security.
Let's keep moving. Section 4, Reliability and Remote Control.
All right, let's pick the energy back up. The dev team has been on an absolute bug-squashing rampage here. Let's just rhythmically check these off, because honestly, every single one of these is a huge sigh of relief. Agent team crash loop caused by a malformed message? Fixed. Remote control task sync losing updates when a network recovers? Restored.
Oh, and for our AWS users, stopping Bedrock from requesting fresh AWS SSO credentials on every single API request? Stopped. Thank goodness. Plus, that infinite Windows hang during credential resolution now correctly triggers the 60-second stall guard, and fetch phase agents in deep research are no longer labeled unknown. They actually display the source hostname now. It really is a masterclass in sweeping reliability updates.
And finally, Section 5, Essential Quality of Life.
This final update goes out to a very specific group of developers, the tinkerers, who really love to heavily customize their local setups. If you had a custom launcher script or a symlink living at .local/bin/Claude, you know exactly how painful the old auto-updater was. Every single time Claude updated, it ruthlessly overwrote your custom scripts. Well, you can finally breathe easy. The new behavior leaves your scripts completely alone. The auto-updater actually respects your customizations now. Instead of overwriting, the /doctor command will intelligently detect and report when you have an externally managed launcher. So no more fighting the updater just to keep your custom workflow intact.
So, we've seen the defaults flip to save you time, the terminal lag completely vanish, security get a lot tighter, and endless annoying bugs get squashed, which really just leaves us with one provocative question. How much faster can you build now that your AI tool is truly out of your way? Claude Code 2.1.27 is entirely about letting you focus on the code and not the configuration. If you want to dive into the full manual and explore every single detail of setting up these workflows, make sure you head over to claudemaster.net. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, happy coding!